Hey everybody, Comman1701 here to give you guys another video, that being another video diary, episode 8. Like I said, I was going to do this video diary, and with the whole processing of my grandmother passing away, I wanted to do this video talking about death and, what I've experienced and what I've seen and stuff like that. I've only really been close to death in terms of like funerals and stuff like that. I've only ever been to one funeral, but there has been some people that passed away that, that I wouldn't say necessarily close to, but like I knew, and they were in my life or in somebody's life that I'm close with, like my sisters or my cousins, and Uh, but yeah, my first encounter with death was back in 2015 in February when my grandma Julie passed away. And I was very upset. I was more so frustrated because I didn't understand. Like, when I was younger, I was always scared of dying. Like, I didn't want to die. I didn't want my family to die. And it would always really upset me when I was little. But as I got older, I, I have a complicated relationship with death. It's weird. It's very weird, but yeah, I that was my first encounter. My grandma Julie had gotten sick, and the hospital released her when they probably shouldn't have, and she went home. And I was the last family member that she got to talk to, and I gave her a hug after walking her up to her room in her apartment, and I gave her a hug. I said goodbye, I love you, and I'll see you soon. And unfortunately, the next time that I got to see her, she was in a hospital bed in the ICU and had passed away. And it was hard. It was difficult. We had a dinner for her. We celebrated her life. We let this church know about her passing, and they said a little thing in their prayer. And I had family come from Texas, and it kind of brought my mom's side of the family together. And again, I didn't process it as well as I should have. Like I said, I was 14 at the time, and I was more so frustrated than anything. And living with the fact that I was the last family member that she got to talk to was really difficult, and it has stuck with me to this day, especially with my other grandma passing away. And then later that year, uh, my sisters on their side of the family, because we share the same mother but not the same dad. Uh, I was there for my sisters when their father passed away, and you know I was around. We would always go over to their dad's house and stuff, and you know being around him while he was sick was really difficult to see. But again, I didn't know how to handle death quite as much as. But yeah, so I had to deal with that twice within a year, and that was difficult. But since then, I didn't really have to deal with it. The thought of it always crossed my mind. It was like, what happens after you die? Where do you go? What happens? Do you still get to continue on after death, or like what happens? What is death? What is the afterlife? What is all these questions? And it wasn't until last year in the summer that I was there for my cousins, because their dad passed away, and it was hard for them, very hard. And that was the first funeral that I ever went to, and it was really difficult. The vibe, the feeling, everything. It was just really weird to experience, and And you could just feel death in the air. It was very somber, very upsetting, and it was hard. It was hard to see my cousins that way, and I can't imagine how they're feeling right now. I mean, it's gonna affect them for the rest of their lives, and hopefully, I can offer something to them, and help them out going forward. And if they ever need to talk to me about it, I'm here. I'm here for them. But fast forward to present day 2026, my grandma passed away, and like I've explained in previous videos, it was hard. It was really hard because this was like the first person that I was extremely close with, and meant a lot to me, that passed away, and it was difficult. I was really upset in the beginning, but then I kind of, I suppressed how I was feeling and started focusing on everybody else and trying to make sure they were okay and taken care of and stuff like that. And yeah, it was hard not being able to go to her funeral because of everything that was transpiring at the time with me and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm still trying to grasp the concept of death, and you know, just trying to process it. Very difficult. Very difficult thing to deal with. And if anybody watching has gone through or has experienced, you know, someone, a loved one, a friend, anything like that passing away, and maybe even having, an experience with yourself, like, a close call with death or something like that, or, if you, like, did die and you were, resuscitated, I think is the word, and you saw the light or anything like that, let me know. Comment down below and get a conversation started. So, I think that's about it. This was probably going to be like my quickest video diary. I just wanted to quickly run through everything, and yeah, we'll see if this one even stays up. I know there's some things that I talked about that might get the video privated or removed, but that's understandable, and I will do it out of respect for anyone that has anything to say to me about it. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. More videos to come. After this one, I do have a short planned and ready to go. And yeah, that'll be my first short, and stay on the lookout for that. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I know I was a lot more soft spoken in this video and not so high energy, but because of the topics that I've discussed in this video and the previous video, it deserved to be a more, calm and collective kind of video. So, yeah. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.